guess everyone's entitled to want to get scared.
Hey, how's it going, Slasher Girls and Monster Boys? It's your friend and guide to some Christmas fear this year, the Horror Dude. And the film I'm gonna be introducing to you guys today is a made-for-TV film back from ABC in 1972. The film stars a young Sally Field, and the film is called Home for the Holidays. Let's check it out. Home for the Holidays is about a sickly older father named Benjamin Morgan who has a very strained relationship with his 4 daughters who he hasn't seen in years. But for Christmas he begs his kids to come see him, not to spend time with him, but rather to ask them to save him from his current wife who he suspects is poisoning him by asking his daughters to kill her.
Get rid of her.
How?
Kill her!
Shortly after the sisters arrive, they begin to fall victim to a killer in a yellow raincoat, 20 years before the raincoat became fashionably acceptable for horror movie villains. Now, by telling you the premise of this, you would think this was some kind of a low-budget slasher flick, right? Like its billed. Well, it's actually more of a psychological mystery thriller than an actual horror movie. So why the hell does he suspect his new wife is poisoning him in the first place? Well, besides obviously probably being senile, his new wife has had a run-in with murder in the past. Her ex-husband was actually found dead by poisoning, and she was acquitted of all charges. So that kind of lays down the plot of the movie. Most of the intrigue with the movie was actually the dysfunction within the Morgan family, but it wasn't utilized well enough. Why all these girls have daddy issues in this movie isn't even completely explained in detail. They just kind of come off as pathetic and scummy people. I guess it is kind of like the Kardashians. The movie basically turns the typical characters into body bags in completely uninteresting ways. So this being a Christmas horror movie, I was at least expecting some type of Christmas atmosphere in the movie, but it basically had none of that. If it didn't have an occasional Christmas tree in the background or mention that it was Christmas time every so often in the movie, I would have probably just forgotten completely that it was Christmas. I mean, ultimately, that's not even why the family comes together. They only come together because he begged them to. And he's rich. If the film would have said something along the lines of, this is the last Christmas he's ever gonna be alive, you should probably spend time with him, and the girls show up to try and get his money or something, it would have built a much stronger connection for the movie. It just seems like ABC just picked a random mystery thriller script they found off the street, changed the title to match a Christmas theme, put random Christmas trinkets all over the movie, and just decided to shell it out for the holidays to make some kind of a quick buck. This is just kind of a waste of time movie, and I hate the fact that this is listed as a Christmas horror mystery movie. The good, if I have to give it a few. I completely did not see the twist coming. You guys are gonna have to watch it for yourself with the link in the description, but the movie swerves you in one direction the entire time and then does a complete 180 with no rhyme or reason. I guess I just didn't give the writers enough credit to actually make a half-baked decent twist. Or maybe I'm just a gullible idiot, who knows? I guess what I'm saying is, don't sleep on this movie and don't assume you know what's going on in the movie because it will twist on it for you. Also, the performances were actually pretty well done and they had some real heavy hitters with Eleanor Parker and a young Sally Field. Also, another person who had a great role yet wasn't around long enough to really matter was Jessica Walter as Frederica. She had probably one of the best performed scenes in the movie, and sadly the best death, which was her seeming to get blackout drunk and just fall asleep in the bathtub by accident. I mean, seriously, if this is a horror movie and your highlight of the movie is an accidental drowning, you done fucked up. Well, it's also a made-for-TV movie, so I don't know what I was expecting. But let me give you some similar movie recommendations that are actually way better than this piece of crap. Similar movies I could actually recommend and highlight for you guys, at least by premise, is Alice, Sweet Alice, which is obviously a way better film, in my opinion, with a creepy, crazy person who may or may not have done it in a raincoat, and The House on Haunted Hill, minus the paranormal. House on Haunted Hill actually had done a group of people coming together very well and having a fleshed out reason, plus the hate between Vincent Price and his wife is done way better here. And as for movies with Christmas similarities, I got 1972's Silent Night, Bloody Night, which is another film I'll actually probably talk about in the future. It doesn't have too strong of a Christmas feel to it, but at least feels more like a horror movie than this garbage. Plus, it's got a better grindhouse feel towards the movie. And lastly is a film I just hate to actually recommend to you guys, but it actually feels more like this movie and is actually kind of better, is the 1980 film To All a Good Night. To All a Good Night is a Christmas movie I seriously question its very existence. It does have a swerve similar to Home for the Holidays, however it's not as impactful as in this story. 1972's Home for the Holidays just has too many random inconsistencies in it, but it still has an interesting premise and strong performances by the cast. Unfortunately, the story just suffers from, well, not being too much of a holiday movie like it's being billed as, and a really weak script in my opinion. So I would recommend you probably just pass on this movie and probably check out some of the movies I recommended to you before. Except for To All a Good Night. I just hated that movie. So this is my 1972 review of Home for the Holidays. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please leave a like down below. And also, if you guys want to keep up to date with everything that's going on this month with my mini horror Christmas movie reviews, where I also give you guys recommendations on other films that are similar to these ones, please hit that subscribe button down below. And leave a comment today if you guys have seen this movie and give me your favorite scene throughout the film. My favorite part of the movie is definitely when the pink gloves come in when the girl's in the bathtub and slowly yank her down. That scene is so stupid, but it was kind of funny. So I want to thank you guys for watching again. I'm the Horror Dude here, and I'll see you guys next time.